Traditional drip line is available at 6, 9, 12, 18, and 24-inch spacings. But as we know, this cannot cover the endless possibilities of our gardens and landscapes. Maybe it's because you need a spacing that doesn't exist, or because your bed isn't planted with any specific spacing intervals. Today, I'm going to show you how to create what is effectively custom drip line for 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch sizes. Here is traditional 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch drip line. But today, we're going to turn 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch tubing into custom spaced drip line. In this way, you can match almost any plant or landscaping need. First, we're going to create a custom drip line run here in this short bed. As you can see, if we were to use evenly spaced drip line, emitters would drip in places where there are no plants and there are no roots. This bed is short enough, less than 30 feet, that we're going to use 1/4 inch tubing and 1/4 inch inline emitters. Come on, I'll show you how. As you can see, not only do our plants have different spacings, but there are different sizes. One of the great things about custom drip line is you don't necessarily have to use the same flow rate dripper like you do in traditional drip line. This moderately sized plant here, we're going to use a 2-gallon-per-hour dripper. Later on down the line, the smaller plants, we might be using a 1-gallon or even a 1/2-gallon dripper. To install an inline dripper, all you have to do is cut into your 1/4 inch tubing. The inline drippers have an inlet barb and an outlet barb, and unlike other drippers, they actually drip out of the center. In this way, they can go right into a run of 1/4 inch tubing and still drip water. You can have another one and another one, any spacing you need. So essentially, you're making inline emitters like Dripline has, but you're doing it with these. With the size of this plant, I'm going to use the red 1/2-gallon-per-hour dripper. Now I'm going to cut into my 1/4 inch drip line and install my inline dripper. One thing to keep in mind when you perform this step is the hole that the water comes out, it is best if it stays up top. That'll help reduce any chance of back siphon causing any clogging. All right, let's cut in. This plant is the biggest plant that we're doing. Like the other big one, I want to give it 2 gallons per hour. However, its root system is larger than the other one. For that reason, I'm going to use 2 1-gallon-per-hour drippers on either side of the plant. That way it gets the same 2 gallons per hour, but delivered across its entire root system. Here at the end of the run, it has to be capped off so that it can pressurize. To do this, we're going to use this 1/4 inch goof plug. Goof plugs have multiple uses, but one of them is to close off the end of a tubing run so it can be pressurized. To do that, you use the small end of the goof plug. Now I have a run of custom 1/4 inch drip line that features emitter flow rates and spacings customized to my specific landscape and its unique needs. For runs over 30 feet in length, you can do something similar with 1/2 inch tubing. It's not technically drip line, but it works much the same in that you can get emitters wherever you need. Not a lot of people know that you can punch emitters directly into 1/2 inch tubing. Take this run for example. It's a pretty long run. It's too long for 1/4 inch drip line or 1/4 inch custom drip line, and it has unevenly spaced plants in it. So we're going to punch drippers into our 1/2 inch tubing wherever we need one. Just like with the 1/4 inch custom drip line, you can use drippers with different flow rates and plants with different watering requirements. It allows you to really customize that run of tubing. To punch a dripper directly into a 1/2 inch tubing run, all you need is a 1/4 inch punch and a barb dripper. You simply use the punch to punch the hole in the tubing, and then you push the barb on the dripper into that hole. For our first plant here, since it's one of the smaller ones, we're going to use our 1/2-gallon-per-hour dripper. Now we're at the last plant, and as you can see, it's significantly larger than the other plants. For that reason, we're going to be using our 4-gallon-per-hour dripper. A 4-gallon-per-hour dripper puts out about 8 times more water than a 1/2-gallon-per-hour dripper, which we might need for a plant this large. If it turns out that's too much water, we'll just drop it down to a 2-gallon-per-hour dripper, or about 4 times as much as a 1/2-gallon-per-hour dripper. And there you go. If you'd like to learn how to easily and automatically inject fertilizer into your own custom drip line, check out our video on the Easy Flow Fertilizer Injector right there. It'll walk you through step by step, from installation to use.